Hello! Missed me? I'm back from my holidays in Shanghai, Beijing and Tokyo, and today I'm going to talk about Beijing. The first thing I did in Beijing and the first thing that I had on my list was to go to the Forbidden City. I started in Tiananmen Place and then just went straight to it and spent a few hours there. Like in most touristic places, there are a lot of people. And I mean a lot. Luckily, Chinese people know how to deal with masses, and so you walk at a steady pace from start to finish without ever really stopping. Most people will stay in the central alley from the south to the north and don't really go elsewhere. However, on the sides of the Forbidden City there are two little gems, and there's virtually no one there, so it's a very nice break from all the noise and the people. So I highly recommend just going there and enjoying some calm. Also, everything that can be touched will be touched, which is really odd as an European, where you pretty much are not allowed to touch much in most museums or historical buildings. You can also go into most buildings, especially those who are not on the main road, and you can see all the wooden work and the colorful artwork, and it's quite gorgeous, really. I made a lot of pictures, so if you're interested, go to my blog and you will see more of them. Once you've finished visiting the Forbidden City, you absolutely have to go up the hill, Jingshan Hill, so you can have a beautiful view of the huge and vast complex of the Forbidden City. Unfortunately, when I was there was this smoggy pollution haze, but it was nice anyway. The Summer Palace is another giant of Beijing, also UNESCO heritage. It's basically a huge park with lakes, gardens, palaces and other kinds of buildings, which are all very pretty and very Chinese looking, if that makes sense. I absolutely adore the colors they use. The color palette usually is blue, green, red and golden, and they're just very good at that color combination because they're so used to it. They also use a lot of enamel here in green and yellow on the roofs and handrails, which is just so beautiful. Obviously, this is a royal park, so you can expect a lot of richness in the decorations. The Tower of Buddhist Incense seems to be the main attraction, and you have to hike quite a bit to get up there. There's a carefully planned succession of gates, buildings, and steps to go up to the Buddhist Incense Tower. Since there are a few lakes, you can also do a boat ride and enjoy the view. I didn't have much luck with the view as there always was that pollution haze, but it still was kind of eerie and very pretty to look at. I just can't imagine how beautiful it must be when the sky is blue and the view is clear. You can walk around the park and there are many halls and other things to visit. One of those things is a tiny little garden with tiny ponds, which is quite adorable. And last but certainly not least, I did Zusho Street. I'm not sure that's exactly how you pronounce it. It basically is a shopping street with some restaurants where you can eat. I actually ate there. And it's all watery and it kind of reminds of a Venice, but in Chinese. Some boats go through the street as well. Apparently, it's a shopping street resembling Shantang Street in Zushu, and that street was destroyed by the British and French in 1860 and only restored in 1988. 超市里面的卖2块，我这儿卖3块钱，活鸡活鱼吧，对吧？ One of the completely unexpected things I did in Beijing was to go to an art district called 798. They also had a German library, which was very unexpected, from the Goethe Stiftung. They also had a sense of humor, showing web pages that are not accessible in China, like Facebook, Google, or Instagram. One gallery had just blank paintings because they have been censored. All 16 paintings and 3 sketches by Norbert Tadeus have been rejected by the Chinese Cultural Bureau and will therefore not be exhibited at Forshu Foundation Beijing as planned. Rejected paintings are replaced by blank canvases and the sketches by empty frames. All rejected artworks will instead be exhibited in Hong Kong. All in all, a very cool district that you can easily spend a day on. There are many tours that guide you to the Chinese Great Wall, and there are many places where you can visit it. Many of those are very touristic places with lots of tourists, and I didn't want that because I had some returns that said that it was not so nice when it was so crowded. I ended up choosing a tour that went from Jinchanling to Simatai, and it was a small hiking group of 8 people. And it was just amazing. I do not regret taking that tour, although it was not that cheap. If you're interested, I wrote more about it on my blog. We hiked for about 6 kilometers, and honestly, it was the most impressive thing I did during all my holidays. So yes, the Chinese Great Wall is really quite amazing and so huge and beautiful and old and interesting. So certainly something you do not want to miss if you ever go to China. On my last day in Beijing, I went to the Temple of Heaven. It was cold and frosty, but the Temple of Heaven was, well, heavenly. The temple is cylindric shaped, which is quite odd, and it is, as usual, very colorful. It is situated in a big park where there are many other things to see. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!